Namaste, namaste, and welcome to Friday Night Yoga, our first session of the summer term. And this session is designed for people who are new to yoga, or perhaps you're taking care of a little injury, or you've returned to yoga after a long time. And so in this class, generally, we're going to take things a little bit easy, but I want you to take responsibility for feeling your way through your practice. So if something feels good, then that's great. And if it doesn't feel good, try to rest out of that, or don't do it. Don't push anything that doesn't feel good. We're going to start tonight on our backs. So if you come down to lying on your back, and don't worry, there's loads of instructions. So if you can't see the screen, it doesn't matter. If you lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet on the floor and your arms just resting a little way away from your body and the palms turned upwards so that the shoulders can relax. And if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes, but if you don't, then you can look at one point on the ceiling above you. And as you come into this position, take this opportunity to bring yourself mentally and physically into your yoga practice space. Allow your body to arrive in this shape. Step away from the other things in your day, the things that have been on your mind, any kinds of conflicts or things to do, or phone calls or emails. Just put it aside for this next hour and a half. And allow your focus to be very much on the present moment and your experience here. Take your awareness into your face. Feel your forehead soften, that space between the eyebrows spreading apart. Feel the area around your eyes relaxing and your tongue and jaw releasing. And as you do that, perhaps you can feel a little softness coming into the fronts of the shoulders as well. And perhaps you can allow your legs to relax, your abdominal muscles to relax, the back of the body to soften. Take this moment to feel how you're feeling physically in the body. Become aware of any areas that feel tight. Perhaps they feel stiff. Perhaps you're carrying some discomfort. And just note that so you can take extra care during your practice. And then take one moment to notice an area of the body that feels at ease, where you feel space and softness and comfort. Then move your awareness to your breathing and just notice the breath that you're breathing right now, without changing it, without controlling it. Notice the coolness of air as it comes in through the nose, and the warmth of the breath as it leaves the body. Notice which parts of your body move as you breathe. There's no right or wrong answer to that question. It's just for your own observation. On your next exhalation, engage your belly muscles. Draw your abdominal muscles inwards. the navel towards the spine to ease a little bit more air out of the lungs. And then relaxing there, breathe deeply into the sides of the body, the back, the chest. And then slowly exhaling, engaging across your navel to help that exhalation become more full. Breathing deeply into the rib cage, the collarbones, the shoulder blades. And gently, slowly releasing that breath. Engaging across the navel to exhale completely. Breathing fully into the whole of the torso. Find an extra space to breathe into. Exhaling slowly, relax your face, your shoulders, engage across your navel to exhale completely. And continue breathing in this way, deeper breaths than normal. Exploring all the spaces that you can to breathe into. And slowly breathing out, softening the whole body as you go. One more deep breath like this. And at the end of this exhalation, you can keep breathing this way if you want to, but we're going to move our focus to the head. And so breathing in a way that feels natural to you, just swaying your nose from one side to the other, and feel how that feels in your neck as you move. Notice if there's one side that feels easier than the other, or if you feel a little movement into your shoulders or your jaw as you move the head from side to side. You don't need to go anywhere in particular. It's not about the shape you make. It's just about the feeling that you have and your experience of it. When you're ready, you can bring your head back to center, and you can open your eyes if you've had them closed, and just draw your knees towards you one at a time, holding onto your knees and making some circles with your knees. So we're going to start with the knees apart and the feet apart, and just using the hands on the knees to stir the knees around in a circle so that you feel the back of the body being massaged. So across the top of the buttocks, across the low back, perhaps the hips or the sides of the body, the bottom of the rib cage, and then circling your knees in the opposite direction. Little circling, using the arms so that you don't have to use your tummy muscles too much at this early stage. And then when you come to the center, we're going to take the toes together and take your knees apart and circle your knees together and then apart, but keep the toes together all of the time. So you're using your hands here to stir your thigh bones in your hip sockets. We'll do one more this way and then the opposite direction. So stirring the thigh bones in the hip sockets, making circles with them. If you feel that you're not coordinating this quite right, it doesn't matter as long as you're making some kind of movement with the legs. And then bring your knees close together and feet close together, hands on the knees, and make the smallest circle you can so that you feel in the back of the body that space that joins the two hips and the spine. The sacrum is being massaged, but not the buttocks, not the sides of the body, just that bit in the center of the back, center of the low back. And the opposite way as well, tiny, tiny circles, almost indiscernible to anybody watching. And then coming back to the center, we're going to let the feet come to the floor one at a time. Take the feet wide to begin with and release the arms wide from the body, turning the palms upwards. And we're just swaying the knees from side to side. So a little firmness across the belly muscles, drawing that navel towards the spine. and swaying your knees one side and then the other. And here, again, it's not about the shape you make, it's not about getting the knees to the floor, it's just twisting. So we're beginning to wake up the spine here. Twisting from side to side, the hips are involved, awakening the core muscles for stability and support as well. The next time your knees come down on your left side, just leave them wherever they fall and reach your right arm up past the right side of your head. So your upper arm is by your ear, shoulder nice and relaxed if you can. If it's not comfortable to have your arm there, it's okay, don't worry about it. You can drop the arm down towards your side and just take a deep breath in. Feel that space down the right side of the body. Deep breath out. Release your right arm back to shoulder height or chest height, and then engaging the abdomen, bring the knees back to the center and allow them to go all the way over to the right side. And once they get to wherever they're going, reach the left arm up past the left side of the head, relaxing the left shoulder. Feeling that space down the left side of the body, underneath the armpit, down the side of the rib cage. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Relax your left arm back to where it was. Firm the belly muscles, draw the knees back to the center. And then here we're going to leave the feet wide apart and bring the elbows close to the body and place the elbows on the floor, but bending the arms so that we've got little robot hands, palms facing each other across the body. Roll the backs of the shoulders, the backs of the arms and the elbows down into the mat. And then gently press the back of the head down, just gently. The rest is all pressing down firmly. We're going to press the back of the arms down to feel the chest lifting just a little and keeping that engagement with the back of the body. Press into the heels and lift the hips up off the floor. So coming into a little supported bridge here. And we can roll the hips back down to the floor, but keep the upper body engaged. So if you need to, you can re-establish that, pressing the elbows down, pressing the backs of the arms, backs of the shoulders, gently pressing the back of the head, firming the feet into the floor, particularly the heels, lifting the hips up, feeling the buttocks engage, and then rolling down. We're going to roll up and down one more time, rolling the hips up, rolling the hips down, and then we're going to come up and do a hula hooping action. So this time rolling your hips up, and when you get to the top of wherever you get to, just staying there and imagine you're doing hula hooping and just wiggling your hips around. So we're moving the hips around in a circle, and then we're going to go in the opposite direction, still keeping the upper body engaged, the buttocks engaged, the heels engaged into the floor. And then coming back to the center, rolling all the way down. And at the bottom of this movement, just let your feet come a little bit further away from your buttocks. We're going to reach the arms up and cross the right arm over the left arm so that the fingertips to the floor on each side of the body. And feel that space between the shoulders. So engaged in our bridge pose now, soften and spread apart for a deep breath in. Deep breath out. We're going to uncross the arms, cross them the opposite way, first reaching up and then crossing the left arm on top of the right arm now, fingertips draping to the floor. And in this position, maybe gently rocking the nose from side to side. You don't have to go very far, just a little releasing of the back of the neck. Head centered for a deep breath in. Deep breath out and relaxing the arms down to the sides again. So now we're going to bend our knees in towards us a little bit more. Bring the feet together and the knees together if you can. So it doesn't matter if they're not absolutely rigidly together, but we want them to be more towards each other than they were. Firm in the belly, palms turned upwards. And again, letting the knees come down on one side and then the other. The difference now is that your opposite foot comes off the floor. So if the knees go to the left, the right foot's off the floor. And if the knees go to the right, the left foot's off the floor. Firm in the belly throughout the movement, controlling up and down. Just relaxing the rest of the body, the shoulders, the arms, the chest, the face. And one more to each side. When you're ready, coming back to the center, we're going to bend both knees into the chest one at a time. And then keeping the knees towards the chest, or if you prefer, knees over the hips, that's okay too. But knees together, feet together, arms out to the side. And we're going to allow the knees to come down to the right side. Use your tummy muscles to control. Try to keep your left shoulder towards the floor and then draw the knees back to the center. And firm in the belly, let the knees come down to the left. Try to keep the right shoulder towards the floor and back to center. So going side to side requires much more control. And so only doing this if it feels okay. If not, go back to doing it with the feet on the floor. It doesn't matter which of these you choose. This time we're going to go to the left and return to center. And then as we go to the right, we're going to add an element. So the knees are going to come to the right side, and then with the knees down on the floor or towards the floor, extend your left leg towards your right hand. And then as you bend your left knee, collect your knees up, come back to the center, and then roll the knees over to the left side. Extend the right leg towards the right foot, towards the hand, so the leg is long, and then bend the knee, collect your knees up to the center. So we're going to go side to side like this, little extension of the twist, using the momentum of straightening and then bending the leg to help bring the knees back to the center. So you don't have to do it with just your tummy muscles. You help using the momentum of moving your leg as well. A little bit side to side. You can go a little bit quicker if it helps. Just try to maintain that control through the abdominal muscles, feeling the sides of the body working. Those oblique muscles are working really well as well. Really well as well, you know, really firmly as well. Aces. Okay, so we do one more to each side, going to the right, going to the left, and then coming back to the center, drawing the hands towards the knees, drawing the head towards the knees, so rounding through the spine, and then rocking backwards and forwards through the spine. So you rock from sit bones to shoulder blades, using again that little bit of momentum to create a massaging effect down the back of the body. And when you're ready, you can come up into sitting. So it doesn't matter if you sit or if you kneel, it's entirely up to you. But if you're sitting, right leg in front of left leg, and you can use some support. So if this feels pretty tight on your hips, then you can sit yourself up on a block or a cushion or a folded blanket to give you a little bit of extra space. So when we come to sitting, when we come to a new orientation of the body, we're just going to take a moment here to rest. Feel the parts of the body that are in contact with the mat or the floor, and they are our stable foundation. So feel that sense of contact, and then that stability allows us to lift. So we can begin to gently engage through the navel, maybe lengthen the back of the body, the back of the neck, feel the crown of the head lifted towards the ceiling. Shoulders nice and relaxed, hands nice and relaxed, and take a moment to feel how your body feels in this new orientation, this new position. And then we'll do some gentle movements for our neck. So draw your chin towards your chest and just take a moment to feel that length down the back of the neck, across the shoulder blades, across the shoulders, between the shoulder blades, and then rolling your right ear towards your right shoulder. Maybe the chin lifts a touch. chin back to chest, left ear to left shoulder, and chin to chest, just going side to side. And perhaps you can feel the connections between the jaw, the ear, the sides of the neck, the chest, the shoulder, the upper back as you move. And notice which side feels easier. That's not unusual for that to be the case, one side feeling easier than the other. And if it feels useful, you can stop somewhere and just take a couple of breaths. Try to soften your face and your shoulders. Remember not to push, not to strain, and don't hold anywhere that feels intense. And then rolling round to the other side. Just find somewhere, if it feels good to you, if you prefer to keep moving, that's okay. Soften the shoulders, the face. Take a couple of breaths. And when you're ready, releasing back to the center, drawing the head back to center. And we're gently going to open our shoulders. So starting with a few rolls of the shoulders. And those connections we felt as we moved in our neck are still in our shoulders. So as you move your shoulders, you perhaps feel things happening in your neck, in your chest, in your upper back. We're going to roll the shoulders the opposite way as well. And then taking the left arm first. So resting your right hand wherever is comfortable, soften your left elbow, and we're going to draw bigger circles with the left arm soft and bent. So you can do this with a really straight arm, but you get more range of movement out of your body with a softer elbow. And if you want to, you can turn in your head and your torso as well. You can make this movement as expressive or expansive as you like. And we're waking up the sides of the body as well. That's part of the purpose. We're going to go the opposite way as well. So when you're ready, reversing that motion. I seem to have chosen a hairstyle that wants to fall out today. So at some point, I'm going to have to do something with that. That's because I've already taught a yoga class before this one. Okay, so we're just going to rest the left side. Feel the difference between the two sides of the body, and one will feel hopefully energized and vibrant, and the other waiting, anticipating, feeling the same. Soften the right elbow and doing the same thing. So you can start with small circles, or you can start with expansive circles. You build into it. And you don't need to do anything in particular with the rest of your body, but allow your head to follow the movement or your neck to move with you. And if you want to, you can move through your torso as well. We'll do one more in this direction. And then going in the opposite direction as well. And the two directions feel different. If you're looking for it, if you're aware of it. In yoga, we spend a lot of time developing that awareness, which is not always a natural thing to have when you come to the mat first. One more in this direction. That's okay. We've got loads of time. And then relaxing the arms down. Aces. Just take a moment to shrug anything that needs shrugging. And we're going to stretch our feet out in front, with the feet a little bit apart, and just roll the ankles around. So the heels are on the floor, we're rolling the ankles, and at the same time the knees come together and apart. So a little softness in the knees to allow you to do that. And if you feel inclined, you can wave in your upper body as well. So you can either sit still, or you can allow this movement to wave your upper body as well. Just keep a little action through the abdominal muscles for a bit of support. Pieces. And then we're going to collect the legs up again with the right leg crossed in front of the left. Do a little bit of side bending and twisting. So first taking the arms out to the side, We're gently going to weeble wobble. So we're going to reach to the left and reach the right arm over, and then press off the left hand to come back to the center and wave ourselves to the other side. You can lift the opposite buttock as you go from side to side, it's no problem. Gently waving from side to side, a little firmness in the belly muscles, just a touch to keep us nice and steady and stable. Aces. And then the next time you go to your left, we're going to rest there on the left side. And so it doesn't matter where you end up, we're going to roll the right shoulder towards the left knee and then roll the right shoulder behind us to open the chest. So a little forwards and backwards, this massaging effect through the rib cage and of the shoulder blade on the back. It's really nice for releasing tension after sitting during working, or if you've been doing gardening and things like that today. And then in the center, so in the center, but also in the side bend, reaching your right arm up, fingers nice and wide and long, making some wrist circles here. And going in the opposite direction as well, with the fingers nice and long, the hand nice and wide. We're going to do the same thing, wrapping the thumb into the palm, all the fingers around to make a little closed fist, and rolling through the wrist. And this is great if you've been typing a lot today, rolling the opposite way as well. And then from here, we're going to reach our hand, right hand forward over the left thigh. So we're diagonally over the left thigh, hands nice and wide, and just do a little shimmer of the upper body from side to side. Just feeling our way into that forward bending, not stressing anything. And then come all the way to the center. And again, here in the center, hands nice and wide, a little shimmer from side to side. Perhaps you can feel that stretching out the hips a little bit. Nice, nice girls, that looks really good. We're going to walk the hands back towards us to sit upright and extend the right leg, just the right leg, out to the right side. Aces. So we're going to do a practice that we've done several times in class last term, but I know that there are newbies on this class today. So just for you guys, this is called a figure of 8, and we do an angel wing and something called a baby wild thing. So I will demonstrate, don't worry, it's not complicated, it just looks it. So for this one, we've got our right leg extended. We're going to take the left arm to the left and turn the back of the hand forwards. We're going to sweep the left hand towards the right foot. It doesn't matter if you've got your right knee bent. In fact, it might be easier that way. And it doesn't matter if you don't reach your foot. That's not the object. We're just trying to get that sense of length across the back of the left side of the body as we reach all the way that way and up with the left hand. And then we take the left hand behind the left hip, press into the left hand, come up onto the left shin, the right foot, and make a big circle with the right arm to bring the arm back to center and hips down to the floor. So we're going to do 3 of these figure of 8s. So let's start with the arms nice and wide. Turn the left hand forward, back of the left hand forwards, and then sweep the left hand towards the right foot and up. Twist to the left as you place the left hand down. Press into the left hand, the left shin. Reach the right arm over as they come away from the floor and back down. Come back to the center, reaching the back of the left hand to the right foot and up. Nice big sweeping circle, twisting to the left, place the left hand down, lift the hips, reach the right arm over, open the chest, and releasing the hips to the floor. One last time. Reach the left hand to the right foot and up. And this is our baby wild thing. We're reaching the hips away from the floor, pressing into the left foot, the left shin, the left hand, and releasing down. When we come down, this time, We're going to rock onto our sitting bones and let our legs and arms be free for a little toddler wobble. So we're rocking and rolling all around on our hips, just balancing on those sit bones. You can have your legs and arms going in different directions. Be free and happy and crazy with this as much as you want. And then when you're ready, you're going to cross your left foot in front of your right foot to come back to sitting. And take a moment as you come back into this cross-legged position to feel that sense of stillness, rest. Feel the body coming back to its center again. And that allows our bodies to absorb all of the visceral information that we give it when we move. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Aces. Okay, so we're going to begin with a little waving from side to side because we did everything else that we need to do. So we're going to reach the arms wide, come down to the right, reaching the left arm over. The left hip can come away from the floor, and then reach over to the left, wibble wobble to the other side. So we're just going from side to side. There's a little massaging effect happening here on the buttocks, on the outsides of the legs or the ankles or the hips. And it doesn't really matter what your shape looks like, as long as it feels nice and free and kind of fun. It's a fun way to let go of some of the rigidity that happens in our movements during the day. Next time you go to the right, just stay in that side bend. And we're reaching the left arm over and then bringing the left shoulder towards the right knee, and then opening the left shoulder and the left side of the chest up towards the ceiling. So we're rolling backwards and forwards through the side of the body, feeling that massaging effect in the intercostal muscles between the ribs of the shoulder blade across the back. And we talk a lot about the superficial muscles, but this accesses those deeper muscles in the side of the body, the back of the body, and the front of the body. And then coming back to center, reaching your left arm up and making big wrist circles with the fingers long, the palm wide open, and keeping your right shoulder nice and relaxed as well. We'll go the opposite way too. Making sure your neck feels comfortable. Always feel free to relax the jaw by swallowing. Tuck your left thumb into the palm, wrap the fingers around, and roll through the wrist again. This is the one I love. This really, really works for me. And then the opposite way as well. And then from here, we're reaching the left arm over towards the right side, but coming diagonally forward. So we're over the right thigh, arms wide, hands wide, and just gently rocking the torso from side to side, a snaking effect. We're going to come back to this snaking action on our hands and knees as well. And then from here, walking the hands to the front. And as you fold forward over your legs in this cross-leggedness with the left leg in front, it feels different. So again, snaking from side to side to just feel that difference. And there may be one that feels better than the other. That's okay. We're going to walk the hands towards us and extend the left leg out to the left. We're trying to find that sort of very centered position in the middle before we do our figure of eights with angel wings and baby wild wings. So turning the back of the right hand forward, and we're sweeping the back of the right hand towards the left foot, keeping the knee soft if you need to, and reaching up, twisting to the right, placing the right hand down behind the right hip, lifting onto the right shin and forward the lower leg as you reach the left arm up and over, and then hips down. We'll do two more like that. So reaching the back of the right hand towards the left foot and up, placing that right hand behind us, lifting the hips, opening the chest as the left arm does a nice big sweep. And we'll do one more. Reaching up, placing the right hand down, really feel the right buttock engage, the right shin engage downwards as well, and come back to sitting. And when you come back to sitting, you can lift both feet off the ground and do another little toddler wobble. So try to find some different shapes. Maybe you can balance on one buttock and then the other. Maybe you don't balance at all. Maybe you've rolled onto your back, that's okay. Maybe you can find a different way to move your arms. And when you're ready, you can gather everything in so that your feet come to the floor, your thighs are close towards your chest, wrap yourself around and just bring your chin towards your chest. For a gentle breath or two here as we gather ourselves back in. And while you're doing that, I can take all of the silly clips out of my hair and get it into a plain ponytail so that we're ready for the next thing. And we're going to come onto hands and knees next. So transitioning any way that feels good to you. You can do the funny flip that we do sometimes to come into downward dog. But when you're ready, coming onto hands and knees. And here, when you come to hands and knees, we want to have a comfortable position for the wrists. So for most people, the hands slightly in front of the chest or slightly in front of the shoulders is better than directly underneath the shoulders. And we're going to have to begin with the knees directly underneath the hips or there or thereabouts. I tend to have mine a little bit further back for preference. Tops of the toes can be tucked flat. And just find yourself in this, again, this new orientation. Let's take a moment here to imprint the feeling of stable connections to the ground through our knees, shins, tops of the feet, toes, and hands. And then when you're ready, engaging your belly muscles, inhale as you look forward, open your chest, lifting your tailbone as well, cow position. And then press the mat away from you, round through the spine, chin to chest, tucking the tailbone under, engaging in the buttocks, cow position. Oh no, cat position. Inhaling forward to cow. And exhaling, rounding to cat. We're just going to go backwards and forwards, wriggling ourselves in this singular dimension. So we're just going up and down to begin with. There's no real right and wrong here as long as you feel stable and solid and comfortable. And then gently patting your hands back towards you to sit onto your heels. Now, if you're not comfortable sitting on your heels, you can use a cushion or a block to lift you up a little bit. You can choose to sit a different way if that feels comfortable, more comfortable. And then bringing your hands together, interlacing the fingers, take the elbows to the sides of the body, keep them towards the sides of the body, and then make figure of eights with your wrists. So just rolling the wrists from side to side, going the opposite way as well. Really want to prepare the wrists for weight bearing. So we've just had a little first foray into weight bearing. Now we're doing a bit of preparation. And then we're going to take the hands and just leaning slightly forwards, turn your fingers back towards your knees so that you feel a little perhaps extension through this front part of the wrist, this underneath part of the wrist, through the forearm connection to the wrist and the bottom of the hand. And then here, spreading the fingers and making sure your thumbs are long, because we tend to bend the thumbs when we're feeling discomfort in the wrists. Then just gently leaning away from your wrists. So you're taking your buttocks towards your heels. You can feel a gentle stretch there, not too intense. So don't do anything too intense, it's just not useful. Check that your shoulders haven't come up near your ears, that they're nice and relaxed down. You can soften your elbows a little bit so that they're not rigidly straight. And if you want to, you can rock a little bit from side to side, if that feels okay. Remember, in yoga, if we can keep our breath soft and our faces soft and shoulders relaxed, then generally that's a good indicator that what we're doing is all right. Very gently turning the hands forwards, and then we're just going to sit back onto the heels and turn the backs of the hands towards the floor and the palms upwards. And again, you can bring yourself over the wrists to give a little bit of aid to that feeling, and just rock from side to side or around in a circle if you want to. Fingertips are turned towards each other, palms upwards, and then relaxing all the way back and just giving the wrists a bit of a shake. Excellent. So when you're practicing yoga, if you ever find yourself holding your breath, or your shoulders are hooked around your ears, or you're really tense in your jaw or your forehead, generally that means that you've taken things a little bit too far, but it's a good thing to understand when you first come to yoga. So let's bring the backs of the hands towards each other and just roll the backs of the hands, turning the fingertips down and back towards the body, and then rolling the palms of the hands towards each other, turning the fingertips away. We just roll through the wrists this way. Looks like a beautiful dance. And go the opposite way as well. And if you can't quite coordinate this one, just doing this is fine. Super duper. Okay, so we're going to come back to our hands and knees for our cat-cow variations. So again, placing the hands nice, spreading the fingers nice and far apart. Knees can be underneath the hips or slightly behind or in front, whichever feels good to you. This time, as we inhale, I want you to press the tops of the feet down into the mat. Inhale and imagine you're dragging the heels of your hands backwards. Soften the elbows to open your chest. And then as you exhale, round through the spine and draw the chin to the chest, and then hover your knees off the floor. Scoop your belly in. Inhaling, let the knees come down to the floor, look forward and up and open, soft elbows, shoulders down. Exhale, round through the spine, press into the tops of the feet, hover the knees, scoop the belly in. One more like that, inhaling. And exhaling, hover the knees. And then coming back to center, you can tuck your toes under if you like. And we're going to take the knees a little bit wider and make circles around our knees. So circling the buttocks around the knees. So you do a little hip wiggling. Very good. And the opposite way as well. And then in the center, wriggling side to side. So drawing the left hip and shoulder towards each other, and then the right hip and shoulder towards each other. So you wriggle through the sides of the body as well. And then if you want to, you can wriggle yourself in any direction. So if you want to go through a few of the things that we've already done, that's fine. And if you want to just sort of find your way with a little bit of neck movements, wriggling shoulders, wriggling hips, wriggling spine. And when you're finished, you can come back to kneeling, just taking the weight off your hands for a moment. Bring yourself back to steadiness and just feel the effect of doing that. So it's really awakening for the sides of the body. We get our core muscles are all fired up by doing this kind of practice. We're going to interlace our hands again. This time we're going to turn the palms outwards, lift the arms over the head, and keeping the shoulders down to feel that sort of space in the back of the neck. We're going to make circles with the upper body around. So we're circling as if we were drawing the palms of the hands on the ceiling in a circle, keeping a little firmness in the belly muscles. So we're doing this with our upper bodies. Very good. Let's go in the opposite direction as well. Maybe see just, it's the same sort of thing as we've done hands and knees, but we get the opportunity to stretch the wrist the opposite way as well. Okay, in the center, separating the hands, just letting the arms drift down to the side, rolling the wrists one more time. I'm very wrist oriented today because we don't usually do an awful lot of weight bearing on the wrists in this class, but today we are doing a little bit more. So got to pay attention to those wrists. Coming back onto hands and knees. And this time from hands and knees, we're going to bring the right hand a little bit closer towards the center of the body. It doesn't need to be directly underneath the head, but maybe just inside shoulder width. And with the left arm, drawing circles, so making big circles with the left arm. A little firmness in the belly there. Doesn't matter which direction you're going in. We're going to do 3 in this direction, which we've done now, and then 3 in the opposite direction. Super. And then we're going to reach the left arm straight up and then take the left arm and slide it between the right hand and knee, taking the left shoulder to the floor. Reach the right hand just a little bit further away from your head, so towards the top end of your mat. And you can press into both arms, just taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Bring the right hand back towards your head and then press into that right hand to bring yourself back to center on your hands and knees. And then here, bringing the knees together, but the hands are where they started out, so not centered but apart. And we're going to lift the left leg up behind us with the knee bent and just make some circles with that left knee. So it doesn't matter how big those circles are, but perhaps you might want to try for your fuller range of movement. Now we're all warmed up, and going the opposite way as well. Allow your head and the rest of your body to move as needed, firm in the belly. When you've done 3 in each direction, we're going to lengthen the left leg behind us, take the foot to the floor, and then slide the left foot to the right, so behind the body to the right, and then slide the left foot on the floor all the way towards the left hand. It doesn't need to come all the way to the hand, but in that general direction. So a little sweeping circle, looking to the right as the left foot goes behind you, and looking to your foot on the left side as the left foot comes by your left hand. One more time. And out to the side. And then this time we're going to take the left foot around to the right, tuck the left toe under and extend through the left heel. And then just play with that, with the hips a little bit here to see if you can feel a little stretch down the left side of the hip or left side of the body. And then bend the left knee so it's on the opposite side of your right foot, on the right side of the right leg. You can untuck the toes here. Move your hands a little bit to the left so that you're lined up in front of your right knee, and then just take your hips towards your heels. Maybe give yourself a little bit of a shimmer with your upper body or with your hips wiggling from side to side. Doesn't matter which. Very good. And then we're going to bring ourselves back to hands and knees and take a rest on our tummies. So from here, just lowering yourself to the floor to make a pillow out of your hands. Rest the forehead on the back of the hands, toes turn towards each other but heels apart. And then just rocking your hips from side to side, bringing the hips to stillness when you're ready. Maybe closing your eyes here, taking a couple of deep breaths. When you breathe deeply in this position, your belly softens and expands towards the floor, which lifts that space in the low back, separating the vertebra slightly, resting the intervertebral discs, releasing tension from the stooped or seated posture. And here we're going to just come back onto our hands and knees. So taking the hands underneath the shoulders, tucking the toes, coming back to hands and knees. So we can do the same practice as we did on the left side with the right. And I might turn around so it's easier to see. Very good, but you guys don't need to. Okay, so here we're on our hands and knees. We don't need to do hovering of the knees. We're just going to go straight into using the right hand. So move your left hand a little bit closer towards your head, maybe not underneath your head, but closer towards your head. And then freeing your right hand, making 3 big circles with the right arm, moving in both directions. So 3 this way, firm in the belly muscles, and then 3 the opposite way. Very good. Use your fingertips of your left hand for support as well. When you've done 3 in both directions, reaching the right arm up, up, up as high as you can, and then sliding that right hand between the left hand and the left knee, taking the right shoulder, right side of the head to the floor. Walk your left hand forward towards the end of the mat. You can press into both hands if it feels comfortable to do that. Or just resting where you find yourself, taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then bringing the left hand back towards your head, coming out of this posture, back to your hands and knees, making sure that your hands are shoulder width or thereabouts again, bringing the knees towards each other. And then we're going to lift the right foot up behind us, looking forward, bent in the knee, firm in the belly, and then make big circles with the right knee. I hope I said right. It's the right leg we're using. Good stuff. And we want to go in the opposite direction as well. Nice big circles. Doesn't matter what the head does, but do allow it to move so it's not rigid. And then when you're ready, you can stretch the right leg out behind you and place the toes on the floor. Slide the toes to the left, look to the left, and then slide your toes all the way around to the right, or towards your hand or in that direction. Sliding the toes to the left, looking to the left, sliding the toes to the right, looking to the right. A couple more of these. And then when you find your right leg behind the left, this time tucking the toes under, extend into that right heel. Just maybe see if there's a little shimmering that you can do here that will experience that stretch down the right side of the body. Tucking the right knee in behind the left knee, so both knees are bent now, and moving your hands towards the right to just wiggle yourself, hips towards your heels. They don't go all of the way, that's fine. Just a little shimmer from side to side. And then we're going to bring ourselves back to hands and knees. Tuck the toes under and come into downward facing dog. So for down dog, you keep your hands nice and firm. Tuck your toes, lift your knees off the floor, just as we did in our hovering cat earlier. Press the hips towards the heels to begin with, so the arms are long, the chest is open. And then lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Arms are long, legs are long, but you're on your tiptoes to begin with. And then take one heel to the floor, bending the opposite knee. Come back onto tiptoes and change to the other side. So this is called walking the dog. And you come onto tiptoes and then take the opposite heel down. Softening one knee. Looks like you're walking in slow motion. And relax your head as well so that your neck is long and relaxed. You can turn your head from side to side if that feels comfy. And then when you're ready, bringing your knees down to the mat, we're going to take the knees wide, keep the toes together, and settle your forehead to the floor, or make a pillow out of your hands and rest your head on the back of your hands. Child's pose. Whatever position you're in, hopefully it feels comfy. And you can relax the effort of the tummy muscles, the shoulders, the wrists, for a couple of long, deep breaths here. And then from here, we're going to come back onto our tummies for a little bit more back bending love. So coming up through hands and knees and just sliding yourself down onto your tummy. Take a moment with the head on the back of the hands, toes towards each other, heels apart, just stretching out the legs a little bit, stretching out the abdominal muscles and the hip flexors. And this is a really good time to take a deep breath in and sigh out through your mouth. So deep breath in and maybe one more like that. As you sigh out through your mouth, your face can relax, your shoulders, your chest, your throat. So for this practice, it's called Flying Angels, and we're going to do this with the forehead on the ground and the arms down by the sides, with the palms turned upwards and the feet not necessarily together, but the tops of the feet pressing down. So from the starting position, we want to roll the pelvis towards the mat, engaging the belly muscles, engaging the buttocks. We're going to keep the feet in contact with the floor and inhale as we lift our arms and heads off the floor. And then we're going to sweep the arms out to the side, turning the palms downwards, looking down, reaching the arms over the head as we exhale. And then inhale, drawing the arms back, turning the palms upwards, lifting with head. Inhaling. Exhaling, reaching the arms over the head, looking down, but not touching the head down. Palms turned down. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. So imagine doing a snow angel. It's the same principle, but you're on your tummy. There's a little action in the neck here so that we don't strain it when the arm's over the head. And you've got the tops of the feet pressing down, the buttocks engaged, the belly muscles engaged. We'll do one more, finishing with an inhale and then relax. Make a pillow out of the hands, turn the toes towards each other, heels apart. The toes do not have to touch. And then just rock your hips from side to side. Smashing stuff. And then from here, we're going to come back to our hands and knees. So hands underneath the shoulders, coming back onto hands and knees. And I'm just going to spin around so I'm facing my left side towards you guys, which is where I want to be. Aces. So this time on our hands and knees, we're going to keep our knees towards each other. The hands are a comfortable distance apart. We're going to stretch the left leg back again. And we're going to inhale as we lift the left leg up behind us, looking forward. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the left knee to the right elbow underneath the body. Inhaling, left leg long, looking forward and up, opening the chest, elbows soft, shoulder blades down. Exhaling, left knee to right elbow underneath the body. Chin to chest, heel to buttock as well. Inhaling, looking forward and up. Exhaling, rounding underneath the body. And one more. Inhaling, left heel up behind you. Exhaling, left knee to right elbow. And then as you come back to neutral, just stretching the left leg back. I'm going to slide the foot all the way around to be in line with the right knee or thereabouts. And then here, we're going to move that right hand a little bit closer towards the head, not all the way to the center, and make some big circles with our arms again. So left arm is making nice big circles. We're going to do 3 in each direction. Little firmness in the belly. That's it. And the opposite way as well. And this time, as you reach your arm up, you're going to turn the back of the left hand towards the body and slide the back of the left hand across the body behind you to reach towards your right thigh or in that general direction. And we're pressing into the right hand to turn the chest so that you're looking perhaps up towards the ceiling or straight forward, but the left shoulder is moving behind you, the elbow closer to the body, and left fingers reaching to perhaps your wings or something at the right side. Take a deep breath and a deep breath out. And then gently rotating through your torso and then sliding your arm out from behind you. We're going to take the left foot, swing it around to the right and then swing it all the way forward to the left hand, but outside the left side of the mat. So we've ended up almost in a lunge here. You come up onto your fingertips or onto your fists to give your wrists a rest. And we're just gently going to bring the hips forwards and backwards. Forwards and backwards, that's it. Just, you can lift the toes of the left foot or you can keep them down. It's a sort of like a slightly diagonal feeling. Very good. And then as you come forward this time, just bring your left foot between your hands. So you scissor or wiggle it into the center. And then we want to press the 2 feet apart from each other. So tuck under your right toes, press the 2 feet apart and bring yourself up into an upright lunge. Brilliant stuff. So here we're going to firm the buttocks, draw the shoulder blades towards each other, firm the belly muscles, reach the arms up, catch hold of your right wrist with your left hand, and then pull the right arm over to the left. And you should hopefully feel a lovely open stretch down the right side of the pelvis there. And then come back to the center. We're going to drop our arms to cactus hands, which means cactus arms is bent at the elbow, but arms at shoulder height, bent at the elbow. Lovely. And then, so we've done our side bend. We come back to the center, drop the arms. We're twisting to the left. So we don't want to fold. We're just twisting to the left. The right elbow's coming towards that left knee. And then I'm going to be facing in the wrong direction, I've realized. So give me 2 ticks while I just spin. Ha-ha! Just like that. You don't need to do that. So from here, from our twist, we're going to untwist, take the hands down to the inside of the left foot, pivot both feet to point towards the long side of the mat, lengthen the left leg, bend the right knee, surfer squat, take the left hand to the floor and then twist to the right. So we've got the left leg extended, the right knee bent, weight in the heels, right arm up over the body, and then we're going to untwist ourselves, pivot on the toes to come back into the lunge position, and then press the feet away from each other to come back into an upright lunge. Good job. Becky, you're doing really well. So this one, we've done similar ones last term. We're going to do that one more time. So catch hold of the right wrist with the left hand, and then pull the right wrist up and over as you bend to the left, firm in the belly and the buttocks. Come back to center, drop the arms into cactus hands, and then rotate to the left. So right elbow comes to the left. We're going to untwist, and as we do, we take the hands to the floor, just inside that left foot, lengthen both legs, pivot both toes, reach your left hand towards your right foot, and then twist to the right, bending the right knee, lengthening the left leg, and reaching the right arm up to the ceiling. And then we're going to unpivot ourselves back to our lunge. And from the lunge, hands either side of the front foot, just step into downward facing dog. And in downward dog, do anything that feels good. So you can do a wiggle, you can bend and stretch. If you really want to, here, take your feet apart, come onto your tiptoes, drop your heels down to the left, bend and straighten the legs a couple of times. And then come up onto your tiptoes, heels down to the right, Bend and straighten the legs a couple of times. Very good. And then when you're ready, you can come back to center and bring your knees to the floor. And we'll do the whole thing on the other side. Then we'll take a rest, okay? So knees together, toes tucked under. It's the right leg that goes back and lifting the right leg up. And then we're opening the chest here and then drawing the right knee to the left elbow underneath the body. Pressing the hands down to lift through the center of the spine. Inhaling, lengthening the right leg, looking up, opening the chest, firm belly, firm buttocks, and exhaling, right knee to left elbow underneath the body. Inhaling and exhaling. One more. Inhaling and exhaling. Lovely job. Inhale as you lengthen that leg behind you and place the foot on the floor, and then slide the foot all the way around so it's around about the same level as your left knee. I might take mine back a little bit. I think I'm a little bit twisted actually as it happens. Take your left hand and move it towards the center of the space where your head is on the mat, and then we're making nice big circles with that right hand. So reaching, rolling, opening 3 circles in this direction, and then 3 circles in the opposite direction. Feel a little softness in the left elbow. We don't want to lock that rigid. We don't want to keep that shoulder too tight either. Reaching the right arm up to the ceiling, then turning the hand so you slide the back of the hand behind the body towards the left hip. And as you do that, press into the left arm, open the right side of the chest up towards the ceiling, maybe even look up towards the ceiling a little bit. Maybe you look forward, maybe you look down, it doesn't matter. Deep breath in, deep breath out, and then slightly unwind your spine before you release your hand. And we're going to come back to our hands and knees. We're going to take that right foot and swing it all the way around behind us towards the left, and use the momentum to swing it all the way forward to the right hand. So it's just outside the right hand. We're dropping the hips backwards and forwards in this sort of open lunge position. Very good. You can go more slowly backwards and forwards if you want to. You can lift your toes or keep them downwards, it doesn't matter which. Next time you come forward, just inching your foot between your hands. So now you're in a nice lunge with the foot between the hands. We're going to imagine we're pressing the 2 feet away from each other and use that stability to bring us upright. Adjust clothing as needed. Whew, lovely job. Okay, so in our lunge here, firming the belly, firming the buttocks, reaching the arms up, catching hold of the left wrist with the right hand and drawing the left arm up and over to the right side. And then returning to center, dropping the elbows wide, drawing the shoulder blades together, cactus arms, and twisting to the right. And I've realized that I'm in the wrong position for showing. I should be here. And then we're going to untwist from there, place the hands down on the right inside of the right foot, lengthen both legs, pivot the toes so they're both pointing towards the long ends of the mat. Move the right hand towards the left knee, left foot, sorry, bend the left knee, reach the left arm up. Open twist in surface squat, weight into your heels, unwinding. Back to the center, turning back into your lunge. Imagine you're pressing your feet away from each other to bring yourself upright again. One more like this, reaching the arms up, catch hold of the left wrist with the right hand, reach up and over to the right side. Firm belly, firm buttocks. Come back to center, drop the elbows, open the chest, and then twist to the right, elbow towards the right side. Untwist, take the hands down to that inside of the right foot, lengthen both legs, pivot on the toes so you face the long ends of the mat, bring the right hand underneath the head, bend the left knee, reach the left arm up into the air, draw the shoulder blades together, surface squat, And then unwind, straightening the legs, maybe pivoting on the toes, coming back into your lunge, taking the hands either side of your foot and coming into downward facing dog. And in down dog, just doing a little bit of rippling, perhaps bending both knees and wiggling the hips from side to side. That's really nice to do as well here. And whenever you're ready, floating your knees to the mat, relaxing the hips to the heels, taking a moment. You can choose child's pose if you'd like to, forehead on the floor. But if you're happy upright, then that's fine as well. Whatever suits you best. Turning the backs of the hands onto the thighs or onto the floor if you're in child's pose. And just take a moment to find your body back in stillness. Notice your heart rate, your breath, the sensation of warmth or coolness on the skin of the body. Do you feel vibration in the body, energy moving, vitality? We call it prana in yoga. And then when you're ready, you can prepare yourself for relaxation. So you've done a great job, particularly if you're new to yoga. So for relaxation, if you've got some cushions, you might want to, I can demonstrate with a bolster here, you might want to put the cushions underneath the backs of your knees. And it's useful to have a blanket or something similar. But if you want to just lie down flat, you can. So we're going to come onto lying on our backs. So you don't need to have the cushions, but you might want to have the blanket close by just for now. And bend your knees into your chest to begin with. So here we're taking a moment to release any tension from our practice. So perhaps reaching the arms up and rolling your wrists a couple of times in each direction. And they may feel the effects of the practice now, but you will gradually build tolerance and strength for this kind of weight-bearing exercise. And then hands onto the knees to make some stirring knees. So you can roll in one direction or the other, or you can make the knees do two different directions or each go in their own way. Whatever feels good to you, just trying to find a way to softly massage out that space at the back of the body. And then when you're ready, you can draw your blanket over your body. Maybe support the backs of the knees. You want to have your heels on the floor if you're lying flat or if you're supporting the backs of the knees. And we're in Shavasana, this relaxation pose. We're aiming to have the feet quite wide with the toes falling out to the sides. The arms relaxed away from the body with the palms turned upwards and the back of the neck lengthened, but not with the chin forced towards the chest, just a gentle lengthening. Wherever you get to, simply close your eyes. And whilst that's optional during the rest of the class, I would advise eyes closed for relaxation. Take a moment to feel yourself arriving in this new position. Feel the response of the body to the support that you can feel underneath your head, your arms and hands, shoulders, buttocks and back, legs and heels. Take a deep breath in and sigh out through your mouth. We're going to repeat that 3 more times. A deep breath in, and then let all your effort go as you exhale. A deep breath in, let your muscles begin to relax. Last breath in, and surrender yourself down into your mat. Allow your breath to find its natural rhythm and fall into quietness. Take your awareness into your forehead and feel it soften. Feel the space between the eyebrows spreading. The area around your eyes relaxing. Your mouth, tongue, jaw releasing. Move your awareness to the back of your body. Feel all the parts of the back of the body that are in contact with the mat or the floor. The back of the head, the shoulders, shoulder blades, arms and hands, the buttocks, parts of the back of the legs, the heels of the feet. Experience the sensation of contact between your body and the floor. Move your awareness to all the parts of the back of the body that are not in contact with the floor. The back of the neck, the wrists, perhaps the lower back, parts of the backs of the legs, the Achilles, and the soles of the feet. Experience the sensation of space between your body and the floor. Allow the whole of the back of the body to feel heavy, warm, supported, and releasing down. Move your awareness to the front of your body. Become aware of the space over you and around you. Feel the touch of air on your face. Feel the movement of your clothes on your skin as you breathe. Feel the sensation of holding space in the palms of the hands. Move your awareness to your breath. And gently deepen your breath, inhaling for the count of 3. And exhaling for the count of 3. Inhaling for 3. And exhaling for 3. Inhaling light, energy, harmony. Exhaling tension, fatigue, discomfort. Inhaling light, energy, harmony. Exhaling tension, fatigue, discomfort. Allow your breath to fall in this rhythm whenever you're aware of it for the remainder of your relaxation. Relaxing a little deeper with every exhalation. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back to your hands and your feet by rubbing your thumb over your fingertips. And then wiggling your fingers and toes. And then rolling your wrists and your ankles. And when you feel ready, you can take a deep breath in and stretch the body in any way that feels good. Maybe yawn. Stretch the face as well. And in your own time, you can gather your knees back into your chest. Make any movements that feel good. Perhaps you just want to hold your knees and roll your head from one side to the other. Or perhaps you want to make rocking and rolling motions, massaging out the back again, doing whatever feels good to your spine. Keep your eyes gently closed if you can, and in your own time, roll onto one side. It doesn't matter which one. Allowing your body to come around a little bit at a time. And again, with the eyes closed, if you can, coming into any comfortable seated position. Bring the palms of your hands together and rub them, pressing them quite firmly, rubbing them quite vigorously. Begin to feel perhaps the sensation of heat between the palms of the hands. We're just going to develop that a little bit more into a bit more warmth, a bit more movement, a bit more prana. When the hands begin to feel really warm, place them over the eyes and feel that warmth soften the area around the eyes. Blink into your palms a few times and release your hands down when you're ready to open your eyes. Namaste, guys. Well done for joining in this class and giving yourself this time. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.